Dan is with us again today. Terrific. It's a long way from Washington State.
It is.
I'm glad to have you back. But after Dan's last trip here, we went out and made some changes in the way we strike things. And so what we thought we might do is let Dan talk for just a few minutes, but then go walk out there and see let him see what we've done, and we can talk on the street instead of just sitting here and waiting. So
we're great. And I guess what would be most helpful and beneficial to me would be to get your own thoughts and impressions at this stage of what is working, some things that maybe need a little tweaking and things like that. I've only walked for, maybe a half a mile or so down to the school with the children, and that was delightful. Thanks for doing that, Charlene.
Y'all having Dan walk with us, I'm like, you can't beat it, walkability, and I compared him to Johnny Appleseed, and I thought that's exactly who Dan is. He's the Johnny Appleseed of walkable communities. He's going all over the world changing communities.
And I heard he was a Pied Piper today, too, right?
Oh, yes, a Pied Piper. John, are they connected?
No.
No, not connected.
I get my mythology a little mixed up sometimes.
Your fairy tales.
But it was a great walk. And I'm very impressed with what I see, but I'm anxious to hear how well it's working from your own observations, since you get to drive, walk, bike, and listen and see. You know how the motors were behaving before and how the motors are behaving now. My very, very first impressions are the markings are really good. They're very well marked, well located. I'm still seeing a few little things that I think are probably cultural that just have to shift over time, like motors still trying to park as far from the curb as they can. I do just the opposite. I want to keep perfecting my talent, so I try to get within an inch of the curb without ever touching it. And I can do it. I think if I can do it, anybody can do it. But we'll make those observations as we walk, but I wonder if we can go around the room and just talk about how it's gone. So would you like to start?
Well, certainly. What we're seeing, we're getting some. We're getting a lot of questions because it is a new culture. As we explain those questions, people are buying onto it. We've got an education component being put together right now for a press release, which we're just talking with Charlene about, getting some help from Smart Coast as well to enhance that press release. But I think the cultural change is happening. The complaints are few. The questions are many.
Okay.
They're seeing what they need to be doing, but they're just it's not sinking in.
Yeah, like which side of the road am I really supposed to be on?
Yeah, and once all the sharrows and the turn lanes and the crosswalks are all thermoed, I think it'll become a little bit clearer. But we've got a few areas where people are going to have to get used to it. For example, down at Magnolia, where it meets Fairhope Avenue at the foot of the hill.
Okay.
But there's still some adjustments to the curb to be made out there that'll further clarify our intent with the new design. But otherwise, I think it's going really well.
Great. Are you seeing any difference in people's being more cautious or more vigilant as a result of less guidance?
Yes, I'm seeing caution and anxiety.
And anxiety. You know, that's not a bad thing if we're trying to keep ourselves alive.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I see so far.
Okay. And would you like to share too what your observations are so far?
I think mostly the comments that I've been getting is that people just don't understand what we're doing. And after you explain it to them, they go, oh, yeah, well, I can see that, because it's certainly slowed me down, is the comments. And then that's what I see when I'm out there, is people are a lot more cautious. They're a lot more slower to make those sudden turns. They're really kind of slowing down at an intersection instead of just whipping through it.
Yeah,
I think.
I've had 3 candid conversations with citizens that have been heated. One from what the H is Fairhope doing now, to just 2 with very, upset, trembling voices. And it took conversations of, this is the idea, this is the concept, this is, this is the wide edge line, it's safety purposes. It takes this education. Talking with them, Morphe looks right, and as I'm talking to them, I'm going down around the city. I said Morphe looks right, those are 2 9-foot, and I'm assuming we stayed with the 9-foot lanes over on Morphe. That was what we did a year ago. It worked well there when the county striped it. We've done it again. It's working. Magnolia looks right. I think people are having a problem with Bancroft. I'm not sure that looks right. I think we need to go over there and look at that. Other than that, there is an education component that people need to see and hear and understand, and then make sure that we've gotten this application down correctly. And I think once we do that, we'll be home free. We're good.
Great.
Well, you know, it reminds me when we planted the islands going down Magnolia and Farrell Avenue, a lot of people screaming. We had groups that we wanted painted, I call them zebra stripes on them, because they afraid they're going to run into them. Also, the debate in Daphne not too long ago, they put traffic circles in. I think when you get it all down to it, the biggest challenge is it's something different. And people don't like change. And it's going to take until we get it all fixed. Because, you know, you go out there, first they were all upset because they couldn't figure out where all the different lines, because we were measuring and trying to decide how to put it down, but they were already convinced it was a mess before we even started. And so now the our driving lanes to the right and left of the line has got confused, but that's because we haven't marked parking. And we got to get finished doing what we're supposed to do. It's been like pulling teeth to get the painter contractor here to do what he's supposed to have done. Then they come in and paint it wrong, and then we have to go back and tell them to take it up. But I'm hoping now that we've got a handle on it, we're going to get everything